In this video, we're going to talk about Spanish capitalization rules. We'll start by looking at similarities with English, and then we'll also talk about ways that the capitalization rules are different in Spanish than they are in English. So for similarities, we'll just take a quick look at these. First off, sentences in Spanish start with a capital letter. That's good. That's what we're used to. Easy enough. People's names also start with a capital letter. So if somebody's name is Gregorio or Jose or Ana or whatever, it's going to start with a capital. Place names for cities, states, countries, things like that are going to start with a capital letter. So Uruguay, Bolivia, Estados Unidos, any country name, any city name like Madrid, or states or provinces, regions, whatever, those are going to start with a capital letter as well. And the names of organizations are capitalized. And also, sorry, I skipped this, acronyms. So let's talk about both of those things together. So for instance, the name of the United Nations in Spanish is the Organización de Naciones Unidas. That's an organization. Its name is capitalized, all the important words there. Just like in English, they don't capitalize the small, less important words. So in this case, they, which means of. So Organization of United Nations is what that's called in Spanish. That's capitalized, and also the acronym for it is capitalized, which is ONU, or they just say it as a word, ONU. But either way, we're going to capitalize the name itself and also the acronym. So those are the similarities to English, and that's pretty easy. Now let's take a look then at the differences. There are several differences. Some of them might strike you as a little bit unusual at first, but you'll get used to them. So here we can see some differences, and we'll just kind of take a look at these one at a time. Days of the week do not start with a capital letter in Spanish. So for instance, the word for Sunday is domingo, D-O-M-I-N-G-O, but it does not start with a capital letter. That takes a little bit of getting used to. By the same token, months of the year don't start with a capital letter either. So January, for instance, is enero, no capital letter there. Also, names of languages do not begin with a capital letter. So in English, we would write English with a capital E. We would write Spanish with a capital S, but not in Spanish. So the Spanish word for English is inglés, lowercase I-N-G-L-E-S with an accent mark. The word for Spanish, of course, is español, E-S-P-A-N with a tilde on it. O-L. Neither one of those has a capital letter. No other language does either. So again, a little bit of a difference from what we're used to. Also in English, we capitalize the letter I. I don't know why we capitalize I when it's the pronoun, like I do this or I go there, but we do. It might just be because a lowercase I looks a little funny by itself. I don't know. But anyway, the Spanish word for I is yo, and it is not capitalized. Unless, of course, it were at the beginning of a sentence, then it would be. But that's the word for I, yo, Y-O, not capitalized. Interestingly enough, however, we have a word for you, which is usted, and a word for you all, or the plural form of you, which is ustedes. And those are both capitalized, as we can see right here. The abbreviation, the abbreviation is capitalized. So the abbreviation for usted is UD with a capital U, and the abbreviation for ustedes is UDS. The words themselves are lowercase, but if we abbreviate, we capitalize them. And then book titles typically do not get capitalized all the way throughout like we do. In book titles in English, we capitalize the whole name. Not so much in Spanish. So for instance, a famous book in Spanish is Cien Años de Soledad. It would be written like this. The first letter of the first word is capitalized, the rest of it is not. Now there's a note here that is not universal. It has not always been this way at all times and in all places, so you may see some variation on this one. But generally speaking, that is the rule. So there we have it. Not a whole lot to learn, but as you can see, some similarities to English and some definite differences. Just, you're not going to be perfect at this at first, but just kind of pay attention to it as you see things and kind of make a mental note. Oh, that's interesting. They did capitalize that. They didn't. As you can see, there aren't really very many cases at all where Spanish does capitalize something that English doesn't. Normally, it's the other way around. We capitalize more in English than what's done in Spanish.